Now, I want you to think about a question. Would you rather go further or would you rather go faster? Now, a lot of times we put a lot of attention on being fast. We want speed. We want to get things done. Now, you want things to come to you fast like Amazon. You order it, it comes to you in a day, in 2 days, right? You want things that actually give you good service, and you want to make sure that when you're needing something, you have it when you need it. Even if you're delivering things to a customer, you want to get it to them as quickly as you can. But is faster really better than further? And what mentality should we have? And I want to explain to you why it's very important to understand the difference between these two things. Now, let me go to my whiteboard for a minute. I want you to just understand something. So when you think about, I want you to really understand this. When you think about something happening faster, right? There's a lot of excitement around that. When you think about something going further, right? It depends on what we're really talking about, right? So when we're talking about, actually trying to be successful, and we're talking about trying to optimize results, right? We want to start to really appreciate what it actually means to be able to go further and not just only looking at what it means to be fast. Now, let me explain. So let's take an example for a minute, and let's say we've got an individual here, and let's create us an individual here. And let's say both of these individuals have a task of stacking up as much as they can of a particular wood. And they're going to stack this wood. And the goal is to make sure, like whoever does the best wins $1 million. Okay. And the goal is, so let's actually make this. This is Julie. And this is Fred. And Julie, she's actually knows something about woodwork, and so does Fred. And so they're given, a certain amount of wood that they have, and they can stack this wood up. And the goal is that they can stack this wood up to actually create something to be as tall as possible. Okay. And they've got 1 week to do it, and every day they're working on it. Okay. Now they got a whole process of what they have to do, to stack all this wood up. Now, I want you to imagine for a minute that Fred, let's look at Fred here for a minute. And Fred, what he does, well, let me use my brown color here for like our wood they're stacking up. So he stacks up these pieces of wood, right? And he's starting to build this up, right? And so as he begins to build this up, and it gets higher and higher and higher, right? Because the goal is to get as high as you can. Well, when he starts getting it higher, and some of the wind begins to blow, sometimes this would begin to fall down, right? This would begin to fall down, and he would have to start over again, right? And then build, right? But he's really, trying to keep it going. So he would start again from his foundation, and he would start building again, right? Now, as the week is going by, he's going through this, and he's getting taller and taller because he's going super fast, doing everything that he can. Now, on the flip side, what Julie did, and this is very important, Julie elected to not even focus on stacking at all. This is an interesting thought. What Julie did, she started thinking about how to go further and not faster. So what Julie did, she started to focus on building a foundation. And she got that foundation nice and firm and strong, right? Took her a few days to do it. Because the foundation was strong, right? And she began to anchor that wood to the foundation. Then what happened was she was able to put nice, good sized pieces of wood that could go, she could just continue up building and building and building because the foundation was strong down here. Now, think about this for a minute. On, let's say, we look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Let's take by Monday, right? By Monday, Tuesday, Fred was here. By Tuesday, Julie, she was just still working on the foundation, right? But what happened is, by the end of the week, Fred was still where he is on this image, and Julie was much further along, if not even higher, because she took some time to think about further, right, versus faster. Now, what is the lesson we learn through this analogy is when we think about our life, when we think about our business, when we think about our relationships, we think about anything we want to do that's of substance in life. When you think about only being fast and you skip over the question, what do I need to do to go further? You miss an opportunity to make sure that all the time that you're investing is investing in that thing being as great as it could be. Now, what this means is some people, they wanted to go faster, so they didn't take the time to learn enough about the thing they're trying to implement. They implement something in their business. They didn't really get the proper training and learning. They watched a YouTube video and they just jumped in. They didn't really put the energy and effort in to learn that properly. They didn't get the foundation. It's like wanting to be a musician, but want to skip over learning your scales, want to skip over learning, different keys, and you just jump in, right? And I've been guilty of this. I practice playing the piano, and sometimes I feel just awesome because I've learned a new song and I feel like the piano is mine. Like I'm playing this, right? And then over time, if I don't remember the patterns of that particular song, then I have to go back and try to remember what I even did. And I was doing it perfectly, right, for months. But then time goes by and I lose it. And the reason is because I have to strengthen my foundation, right, with my scales and just going over it over again so that listening to the sound of the music, I can go to my foundation and know what to do and figure it out. Because my foundation is strong, I will be able to go further. So if I was in a situation where someone needed me to play a song on demand, I would be more challenged than not if I had the stronger foundation properly, right? So this is why I'm always working on, I need to strengthen my foundation because I want to go further, right, in music. But such is life, such is entrepreneurship, such is your career. So many people, they started their business and they didn't do the right things. They didn't think about their business model. They didn't want to do that math. They didn't want to think through the hard questions because it was more exciting to get your logo up, get your website up. They want to run forward in your business. You were so excited for someone to call you a business owner, to tell all your friends that look at what you've done. And because you didn't spend the time, right? You went, a mile wide and an inch deep. Then you don't have something to build something of substance, because if you would have been an inch wide and a mile deep, you could have built something, much stronger. This is why a tree that has its roots down deep and low, it's going to be able to withstand a bigger tree, right? It has to have stronger roots that wrap themselves around a rock and close to a river and spread out where that tree can really begin to grow. And how often do we think that faster is better? We want the thing that allows us to get the results and the celebration and the compliments as quickly as possible. We want to appear to be further than we are. We want to be able to show that we can do this and that and this and that and this too. And we stop thinking deeply about how to go further to make sure we're not only, being able to have some success, but we're actually moving into being successful. And when you become successful, you actually start to build things that last and not things that are standing for one moment and falling down the next. And so I want you to keep this in mind. It's about going further, not faster. Take the time to build a foundation in all that you do so that you can build as high as you can to reach your ultimate goal. I'm Michael E. Parker. Until next time, go further, not faster.